Hello, everybody. Welcome to the latest radical poetry reading, the Wednesday afternoon poetry reading series as part of the new social environment. This is the 592nd event and the 7,000th poetry reading out of for this weekly series, which also takes place every second around Wednesdays at 1 o'clock. We've got a really fabulous historic and amazing show for you today. This has been put together by Joey DeJesus, who has invited Marie Hinson, Shanekia McIntosh, Leila Ortiz, and B. Taylor to read and perform with them. And I'm going to introduce everybody all at once up front because it's going to be a different kind of collaborative performance today. And just before I do that, I just want to let you know, if you haven't been to one of these readings before, that you can pay attention to the chat to pick up on links to the various works by our uh, performers, poets, and artists today, and also information on the Brooklyn Rail in general. My name's Anselm Berrigan. I'm the poetry editor for the Rail, and I help with a number of other people putting these Wednesday readings together. And we're really thrilled to have this going today, and my thanks to Joey for putting it together. And now I'll just introduce everybody. Joey DeJesus is a poet, editor, educator, and former candidate for New York State Assembly. He's the author of Hoax, From the Operating System, and chapbooks We Animate the Dream, A Poet's Run for Public Office, as well as NOCT, The Threshold of Madness. Joey received the 2019-20 BRIC Art FP Project Room Commission and a 2017 Knife and Niska Fellowship in Poetry for Hoax. Poems have appeared in various places, including the Brooklyn Rail. And Joey's a co-editor at Apogee Journal and sits on the advisory board of No Dear magazine. Joey lives in Ridgewood, where they ran a socialist abolitionist campaign for New York State Assembly District 38. B. Taylor is a vocalist and multi-instrumentalist and currently working in data privacy at Microsoft. Views B's own, no legal advice. Leila Ortiz is a poet and social worker in NYC public schools. Born in Lower East Side, the Lower East Side, which is actually where I am right now, and moved to Park Slope, Brooklyn in early childhood. She's the author of Girl Life from Recreation League and A Mouth is Not a Place from Dancing Girl Press. Shanekia McIntosh creates interdisciplinary work inspired by the Black diaspora. She aims to disrupt and confront historical colonial erasure, utilizing the thematic palettes of dislocation, trauma, migration, climate crisis, and afro-futurism. Her work has been featured in numerous places, including the New Museum and Hudson Hall. And recent work has been published in Chronogram, Apogee Journal, and the 10th magazine. Her debut chapbook, Spiral as Ritual, was released December of last year by Topos Press. And Marie Hinson is a queer and trans artist from rural Appalachia, practicing poetry, performance, and documentary in NYC. Her first solo performance work, Stop on the Object, Move on the Image, debuted at the Philadelphia Museum of Art in 2019. She published her first chapbook, Please Remit My Qubits, a trans hex on the birth of quantum supremacy with the operating system in 2020. She is currently a part-time virtual reality cat girl building immersive performance environments in cyberspace. So please welcome everybody, and Shanekia, whenever you're ready, take it away.
Thank you. I'll be reading from Spiral as Ritual. Take these notes for an epitaph of mine, yours, and ours. It had all once felt limitless, now stuck. The possibilities are so fleeting. We used to say, come what may. Slowly, those words of assurance turned to a pithy, oh dear, into now what, a weak shrug, slow fade. However stifling, the codes and numbers seemed to provide an easier route. transparently ourselves and other, disappointment always radiating from minds to theirs, skin peeled to expose raw humanity, jealousy, vengeance, mobility, and other wayward politic, wept for seeing too clearly, exposed myths, scrolling infinitely, pursuing desires, new modes, identities, imbue fables with goddesses of self, echoing into a fit. Nothing left for change, we explored the outreaches, looking to settle for the chest tightened, often enough for us to embrace the collapse, with the fair heightened, the experience of experience an incurable loop. It feels fertile to talk, to receive. What is there to believe? The ease with which to throw away the difficulties of confrontation. Complications that come back to haunt. Are words no longer filled with the powers we were once taught, or are they another shallow image in which we have long believed and feared? The whispers that worked to quiet, oh dear, returns to an uproarious volume. Is it in the matter in which we mourn, abuses through inaction or faint acknowledgments? Complications, course correcting, attempting to keep up, what deserves mourning? I say it's all over. We do with the algorithm that pushes thoughts of the apocalypse, only brings relief, in some sense pleasure. Copies of copies, meticulously stripped each time. It happened so gradually. Before we noticed, it was already too late, and we just sighed and carried on. Even the consumption became empty, limitless just became so stifling. Compassion is too complicated, intoxicated by the blankness, our silence bought us peace. The cost in the end was our shame. I was also weak and somewhat a fool, could not only look in horror and keep inventory. If complicated folks like complicated folks, and if we're all complicated, then what's the point of even speaking, I thought. See, a fool, but no more foolish than you. It felt best to embrace the eternal pool of silence. Oh, how easy it is to admire the peace and the calm of the reflection of the familiar. Humanity as your own responsibility, undictated by anything else, eerie. How clear it's all become for the sake of ease. There was a day, the burden crushing. It was yesterday or maybe 20 yesterdays. We sat and breathed in the cold air. Looking forward has never felt more isolating. Break the cycle, we said. Duppies. All we are, see, surrounded, the cold sweat, a god, an idol created. From an idea of a noble life image. When the future depended, our throats are parched. We circle around each other, confused and incapable, no, unwilling to express old wounds and how they flare, and seeing the heart beating reverberates throughout our bodies. Pressure that brings a serene calm to capture the inexplicable. A solace, a late-bloomed reckoning, what was so often dutifully ignored, faster and harder to the toes, the weakened arms. Floating reminders in the pit of the stomach, the hover over the shoulder, there, here, and there. The pace quickens as we rush through too many thoughts and memories. Must there be silence? Yes. And when it hits, here it hits, the final question, the one it all depended on. How will we be immortalized? How will you or I, there it is, that sunken feeling, the final trick, to lend ourselves to a legacy that preserves without us? What if it's no longer there? Oh dear, I surrendered nothing but myself by myself. Upon retreat is a knife, one representing love and abundance and care. It takes itself slow and I indulge. For Joey. Got read by a Nuyorican witch and all the shit keep piling up. Have me hyperventilating. And the world is dying and no one really cares. And everyone's making work about I and it's all unraveling. I'm unraveling nothing. So short of just feeling nothing captured. The magnitude of the air leaves no room for pondering or pandering. The world is turning faster, 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 faster. Hard to keep up, catch a breath. Where's the release? Found myself more and more isolated, easier to disappointment, harder to shrug, pulled down the ankles, but the waves, oh, the beautiful waves. Excessive. That's what I would call it now as I reflect on my summer, 2007. Too many dark days keeping up to something, looking and seeking a thing that wouldn't be found. I was living for the moment when the hot July sun hit my cormorantine Milanon dripping in coconut butter. The sweat rolled off of my midnight hue skin, the glow of the come up. The hairs on my forearm begin to get into formation, mixed with sweat slowly rolling down my neck to my shoulders to my arms. All the bumps goose for smell of coconut. Being that girl, getting high off of being that girl because you always want to be that girl. Oh, I was chasing something, that 5 minutes transcendental. I would swear that I was an alien, some Nubian thing born at the wrong time, but she could get her pickup. That come up in that hot sun. Mostly I was waiting to be chased. Something chemical. Thinking you're tapping into some deep down interdimensional desires when really you're just hiding from the anxiety. It's when you start noticing the little things, like when you're reading an article on the state of affairs and someone writes the line earnestly, women and people of color. Women and people of color. Women and people of color. What does that even mean? The implication being obvious to me and us all. Women means white, and then it's everybody else. You start noticing the pity in and the contempt in people. These days, I'm often reminded of that little passage in the parable of the talents. In describing a country consumed by consumption that had gotten too fat of its own fat, a white religious totalitarian society, women and people of color are denied free will. They placate them with their cultural industry, with their stories of diversity and women as heroes in the lead. Oh, look how far we've come. Oh, I finally get to see me. I'm not here for the illusions anymore. They don't work anymore. I'd rather occupy time walking with the smooth sound of orbital in the pouring rain, lying in bed after waking up and feeling limitless, feeling obstacles disappear. It's a blank mind that sees the path to something, anything. It's saying, I know you don't love me and goodbye. It's making me laugh. It's embracing none of the narratives. We're off to the Bacchanal. Necessary. Not unlike the release of waves washing on the shore, her body glistened off the sun, buried in the sand. Possession ravaged her spirit. Take me, she whispers. And I'm going to finish up with this last poem called A Symphony of Color. She gazed around and her mind couldn't help but think of micro-industries around luxury. The used up glamour of the sterile home, overwhelming abundance of fulfillment, fractured memories, thoughts of possessions ravaged her spirit. She saw herself eclipsed in the sunlight, taken by nature, by beauty, reality, and she wept, for it was good.
River, Prince of wildlife,
and parched mouth,
the still eye,
and the wandering eye. I don't care about cocaine mixed with sedatives.
I care about mourning your long gone smell.
I plead with God and dirt paths.
Let me live with sadness.
Why do I love you as if you were limb? My own broken pinky swelling in the dark. 077
Shot upending nation virtuoso.
I ride the giant crown's ibis who throbs in aria
That attracts song to an area. I ride the giant crowned ibis who throbs an aria
that attracts song to an area.
I ride the giant crowned ibis who throbs an aria that attracts song to an area. Wake to flute with warblers,
to decipher avian chatter,
while daydreaming and learn the pitches that kiss poltergeist active.
8 birds make as burning letters in the sky.
I frivol, unholy have downy hermit, a braiding alkali of suet sweet seed breath to low warbling halo fastens the common meadow violet to sound what I thought the heart.
I sing the lessons I learned by tin whistle, and in the dance I demand thunder.
I demand thunder. I demand thunder.
I demand thunder.
AC of breath and wait, and breath and wait, and move. Of breath and wait and move, and wait into grounds. Of breath and wait, and breath and wait and move. Of breath and wait and move, and wait into grounds.
Fourier, staying close to listening to how capitalism talks, like how a tree talks, how our language talks, how our this is a job interview talks, how every interaction is like a job interview.
Motherfucker, drop it. My eyes flower sockets. Your 2 hands boulders and rotted earth. You sprouted my heart in an overripe sky. Sun spilled like a bitch over blue. Your bloodstain and ember. Swelling surrender. A mouth with no wind and no teeth. Think you can take me? That's fucking funny. Don't make me scratch hope into you. I'll plant your plea like a seed in mud.
Baby, I'll bury you. 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 Stretch the grid over my skin. Stretch the grid over my skin.
Before filing me the grid over my skin into their holiest flame, for I cleaved a scoundrel's chest as if magically armed. My tactics, thankless after conquest. Inside this fire, I thought many things. Myself the ignition, milliliters of acolyte rising in the sky over my skin, climbing a pillar of smoke as thought turned to feeling, embers spanned collateral rendering hidden cruelties plain. I exhaled, exudating the maze and cane kindling below. Now nothing can disturb me. Goddess of fire, best imagined as bats. Stretch the grid over my skin. Goddess of fire, best imagined as bats who sip wonderment, wonderment's texture of ghost moth seeds, and whose each word uncovers more of the world, spectacular as it is sounded.
Stretch the grid over my skin. After all this, in the luminance of my flesh, I draw the death card. Y'all are funny. I lie down. I drift away.
Start by sleeping.
Start by sleeping.
Start by sleeping.
Last night, the moon was a temple. I found myself falling into the underworld. This is an illusion. What I see of darkness and the dead is what I have to see with. The moon follows their own way. Last night, the moon did not show me their face. I felt push and pressure against my body as I sat. At first, through a fleshy wall, then without, as if I were passing through a cloud in slow motion. Stretch the gray over my skin. Stretch the grid over my skin. Baby, I'll bury you. Baby, I'll bury you.
I'm being honest, I can't help but say birds. Birds are so fucked. They're fragile bones. I can never say goodbye. Once I cried into your face. Our snot mixed together, and it was glorious. A shirt made of flannel always fades. I was born in a tenement. Water dripped from the ceiling. Paint chipped into my cereal. My mother took me to the park. Leaves lush with sorrow swayed as I played on the monkey bars.
The implosion, the falling down,
the unraveling,
the technology I use, circling back on itself, collapsing under its own weight. The implosion, the falling down, the unraveling, the technology I use, circling back on itself, collapsing under its own weight.
Exquisite. In this poem, I'm exquisite. Crushed ice inside a glass like I'm fluent in Spanish and dance. I go weeks without feeling sad. I dip into a split, no problem. My heart is a roller rink with blinking lights. My teeth are always clean and bright. I never say like, except when necessary, like, I kill it intellectually. I'm a fucking star. I'm always up for socializing, really. I don't hate myself or feel awkward. I know all of my gifts. Take you, for instance. I can tell you really love me, and like, I never feel abandoned or worried or can't sleep or wake up cranky. My diet is stupendous. Kale and broccoli and water and shit. My womb is super hopeful. To be a woman, to have a vagina and never get raped, like, I'm fucking unbreakable.
Desire. What would it look like to get myself back from capitalism?
I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, it's already happened.
Where it's all fucked up is in the dying.
In the annihilation of itself, the already dying is the thing it doesn't have words for. That isn't a possibility.
Decouple from that grief.
Not the grief of death itself, my body turning into worms, my body turning into this landscape, my landscape of bodies.
Not in the loss of someone, the grief of losing someone.
I want to say over and over again, this is not what I mean.
If it must burn, you will steal the fires tattooing filched land. Again to the gate of whispers, you and your sisters, goddess of 10,000 hooks and a stone shelter, spell out their names, percuss the body with voices, as sure as the night is chain-stitched or pain liquor. Someone pulls at the root of your hair, following a land of feathers. You see the sun only in sleep. You wear a veil that is a cloud. Step into your elder drawing thunder from the sky. A light, a flaming light, its brief fidelity, when a flaming solar interval. The Sodland accustomed to slaughter, trapping spirits in cracked glass. You are broken with longing, brackish with language and frack water.
Frustrated with the moon. Where are you? Why are you not coming into the temple I've made for you?
With your face, sitting by Prospect Park, at the Brooklyn Museum. This is not a protest. I couldn't find the living people on the 4th of July. The touch has been lost. Wait for nothing, all for nothing.
Blessed art thou among children.
Bless our asses in tight jeans.
Bless hoops and Newports.
Evening news reports. Wear that empty, angry crew. Tagging up in vestibules. And on the awnings, those bodegas. To hate us.
Bless our blasphemy.
Our faces are masks, not only on Halloween. Stupid.
Stupid. We climb trees and smoke blunts, eat ices in dusk.
We're that girl.
Bless that girl.
Guilt in the park. We can't remember her name.
We blast the sky to shrapnel.
Tip over and our grief spill.
Bless our bad acid trip.
We're the village slashers
Fucking
behind churches.
Bless the lurch of getting jumped from behind by 4 or 5.
We can't see in front of us.
Bless that inch of darkness.
Bless hot summer swelter.
We never sleep.
Walk the crooked line of streets. Titties just developing.
Bless laced weed.
We don't know what's happening.
We don't mean to spit on you.
Later, we'll regret it.
We can't get enough of beats and beatings.
We slip in dog shit.
Lie about our age.
Alone in back rooms.
Bless our doom.
Wow. Thank you so much. That was amazing. I think it broke my internet. No, seriously, right as the implosion was said, my internet just cut out. Everybody, another round of applause for Joey, Marie, Shanekia, Leila, and B. Joey, thank you for putting this together, and everybody else, thank you so much for just putting it out there like this. It's we haven't had anything like this, and it's tremendous. And can we throw up in the mics and say hello and goodbye? Also, the recording should be up on the Rails webpage and YouTube page in the next few days. So we'll definitely want to circulate this. And
thanks, everyone. That was amazing.
Thank you. That was amazing.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. That was
Wow. That was
Nothing like
wow.
it. Hinson was right. That was just incredible.
Incredible, Charlie. Incredible. What? It's far out. Wow.
Hey, thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you, you guys. It's amazing.
We'll unmute. Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Wow,
We are
you guys. Grazie mille.
Thank
Wow,
you.
I'm so inspired. I love it. Thank you so much.
Oh, yes. From Marie's house to yours. Thank you.
Oh, yes. Grazie mille. What? It's so far out. I'm so inspired. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Much love and courage, you guys. Please keep up the good work. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Wow.
Take care.
Ciao.
Ciao.
Bye.
Ciao, ciao.
Joey, that was
Much love.
everything. It
Grazie.
was so good.
Woo!
It was so good.
I'm calling you right now. I'm calling you right now.
Okay, call me right now. Okay.
Ciao.
it was terrific.
Grazie.
Bye,
And
everyone.
it was really, really the sense of humor inside of it all was so great.
Oh, yeah. It reminds us why we do what we do, you guys. Right, Ansem?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank
Wow.
you.
Fall out. Thank you. Let's go
Well,
have
we
lunch,
wish you
guys.
the best of the rest of your day. We're certainly gonna
Yes.
keep keying
Thank
and
you.
having fun.
Thank you.
Thank you for bringing us together like this. We're just really appreciative.
The vibration is so awesome. No doubt. Woo! Ciao.
Cool.
Grazie.
Ciao. Thanks, everyone. Take care.
Bye, you guys. Ciao.
Bye.